Everybody, welcome back. This is episode, what are we on now? 25, I think?
25.
Episode 25,
God.
quarter of a century.
Literally your age.
Fuck off. 31, that's worse. I'm well over the fucking hell, you bitch. We've got Sean, obviously, producer Sean,
Hello,
and then we've got a
everybody.
special guest. Well, we did have a special guest, but then I thought, you know what? We'll just let this be blowing in,
Yeah.
this be her. Look. How are
Your
you?
guest was cancelled and I filled in
No,
for you.
well, you love filling in. This is going to be like whenever two
I
gays
don't know
are together.
whose laugh is going to be more
Well,
annoying.
so we've witchy laughs. We have very bad-mouthed mothers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
And then of course being gay and fabulous. So this will be, I'd say, crude, nothing else
Yeah.
off the sort.
I mean, you're just allowed to curse. There's
Yeah,
no
so
word that's
we're
off,
like, we're not like
limits.
Blue Peter
Yeah.
here. Like, you
Right,
know,
okay.
anything goes. But you've done a few podcasts, haven't you?
No. Well, yes.
Yeah.
I've only done the one. I've
The-
only
oh,
done,
really?
Yeah,
Right, you've
so
done
you're
it-
my second time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So I'm in a bit of a groove, I think.
And would you ever do your own?
I would love to do
I
my
think,
own.
yeah.
I know, I would. I have a name for mine
What is
already
it?
gone. It's already, and I can't tell
Oh,
you.
you can't say?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
stop.
you can. Well, the other part, no. Yeah,
You
I
can't
could.
say?
Yeah, it's already saved on Instagram and everything. I've
Right.
got it done.
Right.
But babes, it's just the production. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is your man.
Yeah, no.
Uh-huh.
Do you know, and then like, there's times where like me and my mum, when we're hot.
Yeah.
But see, when we're scratching at each other. So
Yes.
see if we were fighting one week, she couldn't sit next to you.
Yeah.
And I would have to have her on, I think. It would be very much me and her
Oh my
talking stuff.
God.
Maybe not so much guests. I don't know.
Right.
'Cause who would want to come on?
Oh no! Oh my God! Everybody, I would love to come on, but I love your mum. Your
She's
mum
a
is.
gag.
Sean, have you ever seen any of Luke's videos?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Oh,
Are you kidding me?
stop!
Thanks. That's really nice. I feel really at home here. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what's that show in America? It's Thingy's talk show, and they all clap. as you go
Wendy?
down- Yeah, no, it's not Wendy.
oh,
What's her name? If it's is it J Hud's show?
Jennifer Hudson, yeah,
and they clap.
Oh, they clap at the
yeah,
person
and they
coming
clap
through.
you like,
Yes,
thanks, Sean.
Yeah,
complete opposite.
Basically, you've made him feel very, very, very unwelcome.
Yeah, thanks. No,
If it makes you feel any better, everybody comes in. I
hasn't a clue.
basically live under a
So
rock.
I like Sean's kind of like indie Amish. Do you know what I mean?
I could kind of see the Amish.
Like it's
That's
kind of.
very me.
It's kinda like-
would sell you a puppy corn quick.
Yeah, would sell you a puppy, but also like hangs out maybe in like Cuckoo. Do you remember that bar in like the Lisburn Road?
Yeah.
Like, do you know like that?
I feel I'm
indie-
being red.
Are you
Yeah,
do you still
kinda.
well Cuckoo's closed now, but
Cuckoo's
would you go
closed.
Ryan's bar? Would you be Ryan's bar now?
I would go. I
would
like
be, wouldn't
a
you?
Rand's bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do, yeah. That's okay.
Empire.
Yeah. Oh, Empire 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh. Quick fix of the side fringe. Do you know?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sin.
No, only saying it because
Gays
my
are so
hair used to
bitchy.
be like that back in the day.
Did they?
In
Really?
yeah, in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
We
Yeah.
just surfery.
We like to say Owen Quigg
Hollister
on this
model.
show.
Pardon?
I
We
work
like
in
to say
Hollister.
Owen Quigg on this show.
Very Owen Quigg-esque as well, yeah. No.
I could see it.
Did you work in Hollister?
I worked in Hollister.
Stop
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because did you know about the 411? Obviously, I don't think we would have.
The what?
The 411 with like Hollister, no?
What the way?
So like
that
if you
they-
worked in Hollister, like basically it was kind of like accreditation that like you're pretty.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know, like
It was like it went like Abercrombie, Hollister.
Yeah.
Then it went American Eagle.
Yes.
Then it was like Old Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, like TK Maxx, like I'm
Yeah.
all about them,
Yeah.
like, but yeah.
100%.
I'm more TK
But you
Maxx.
mentioned Wendy Williams.
Yes.
I was on the Wendy Williams show once.
Shut up.
No, my boss was, but I was backstage.
Fuck off.
Yeah, so we would go, you'd sit in the green room,
Right.
Wendy Williams, right? But this is my, like,
Uh-huh.
for Wendy. I sat next to somebody who was, like, teasing her wig. Her weave was all being teased. And we were sitting, I'm like, in my head, I was like, who the fuck's wig? Like, what's going on here?
Stop
and I
it.
didn't click with me. It's Wendy's weave. So I sat right next to the person who was just, you know, this,
Fixing the
like
wig.
fab, like just gay. It was just like, you know, fucking teasing it back.
Oh
and doing
my
all this
God.
stuff. I'm like, what's going on there?
Uh-huh.
And sure enough, then Dina went on to do the show, and there was Wendy coming out in this thing, and I was like, that was I sat next to Wendy Williams' hair.
wig. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop. What's your thoughts on Wendy Williams? Have you seen all the stuff
Bless
going on at
her.
the minute? I feel
yeah.
so bad.
Do you know what though? And this might sound really bad,
Mm-hmm.
but should be a bit of karma in that.
Do you think?
Yeah, you sat on a show, you
I know.
ridiculed everybody for how long? There's
Yeah.
gotta be, you know, like there's this saying of like, I wish tenfold on what you wish on me or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a bit of energy that comes back off you when you're doing that.
Yeah, I thought that at a point. For anybody listening isn't aware, like Wendy, like obviously, like did you ever see it, Sean, the Wendy Williams show, Hot Topics?
No.
Oh God, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, that there. I know that. I don't know.
And she like basically like it was like celebrity gossip, but she like slagged everybody.
Yeah.
Like you know the what's that? Shame on you, shame on you, Mr. Spears.
Yeah.
And you too, Mrs. Spears. Deaf to all of them. And then she goes, oh, like, you know,
I only know the bit now where she falls over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
She falls over.
She was a Statue of Liberty that
Statue
day.
of Liberty, yeah. And then what was that?
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many like iconic moments. But then something's just kind of in a conservatorship, I think, or something's
Yeah, so she's
going
definitely
on.
not well. Something's wrong. I don't know exactly what
But
it is.
then, have you not heard the conspiracies that apparently, like, she knew too much? So apparently, this is whatever. There's some sort of because
are we gonna throw the
done an
D word
interview with
in?
TMZ.
Yeah.
The what word?
The Diddy word.
Diddy.
Did she know much about? Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
so she knew
yeah.
about all that there.
Yeah.
And then apparently, like, she's doing something. She was doing like she's locked in a room in an apartment. Have you not seen this?
No, I haven't
Look
seen
this up,
that,
everybody.
no.
It's absolutely mental. So she's in an apartment and TMZ is recording her and she's at the window. You can see her talking completely normal, completely fine. So there's this theory that the media is completely manipulating her to make, similar to
God.
Britney, like making it look
Yeah.
like as if Britney was like insane.
You're down a wee rabbit hole on TikTok,
Down a
aren't
rabbit
you?
hole. I love it. I do. That was about like 2 a.m. I'm like, fuck, I need to go to bed. I love like a TikTok conspiracy.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. No,
Like,
it's
what's
not.
real? What's not? You know what I mean? Do you like TikTok?
I do like TikTok. I don't think I'm not a like. If you look at my TikTok, like I don't follow a lot of people.
No, neither do
I'm
I.
a For You flicker.
So am I.
Yeah, and I don't. You know when you end up sometimes you're seeing like a lot of the same people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, why is this happening? I don't realize I'm on the friends section.
Yes.
And I'm like, ooh, get off
Get
that
off.
because I just want.
I don't want to see what my friends
No.
are at. Fuck that
Yeah,
shit.
and there's just some people on TikTok. I'm just like, you know, what you have such balls putting
Yeah,
that on. But
I know.
Also, I'm
Obsessed.
engrossed.
Well, I feel like
stuck to
I've
it.
built my FYP like brick by brick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like mine's it's like Real Housewives clips.
Yes.
Wendy, strippers doing dance routines.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you know, I
Like
think
some of that,
you
yeah.
stole a few moves.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
okay.
So all that type of stuff. And then anything that's kind of like dark and twisted, murder theories,
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
Gritty crime.
Yeah, all that.
Oh my God. Did you watch the Gabby Pepito
No.
documentary?
No.
Oh my God.
This is on Netflix, isn't
It's
it?
on Netflix.
So this is about like the family YouTubers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he allegedly, or did he?
He 100% did.
Oh, right, okay, right. Sorry to throw in like that word
Yeah, like
allegedly.
my
I was just throwing in
mum-
podcast
Right.
episodes. Like, allegedly.
No, that's all my mum watches, right?
Really?
She just watches dark, gritty crime
Love
series.
it.
You know, like on a Tuesday, Jem
Yeah.
was walking home, and like
Yeah.
the whole story is
Love
unfolded.
it.
So she's like, when she's out and about, she's just like, you need to watch that person.
Aye.
And I'm like, why? She's a whole profile built
it.
up. So yeah, but that's so I have to pay $3.99 for Hey You every month.
Really?
That's where she gets all her stuff.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cute though.
yeah.
But do you ever think that though? Like we're walking down the street and you're like, we could have walked past like a murderer.
Well, don't they say like
Do you know what I mean?
You walk past?
Oh, do you?
Yeah, like what's the statistic? You walk past. There's something I've read that before.
I don't know, Sean, get on the Google,
yeah,
quick.
get on the
Ask
Google.
ChatGPT
Yeah, you
ASAP.
walk past how many like murderers
In your lifetime.
in your lifetime. Find that
like,
out.
do you think
Sean.
you maybe know one?
Is that what Sean's here for? Wee bits and pieces
Sean-
like that.
Just doing me bits and pieces back here.
I love it, Sean. Do you know what I mean?
That's Sean's role.
Yeah. There's a few Sean's at a party I've been to like that.
really? I had 5 in the morning.
Yeah, right,
someone's-
yeah,
and you're like, oh, fuck. Someone pulls this mad theory out of their
God,
ass. Oh,
yeah.
stop it.
You know, when they're talking shite, and
Oh
you're
my
like, you're
God.
stuck in a corner
Oh
next
my
to
God.
somebody, and you're like,
do you ever?
please.
Do you feel like you're the person who always gets stuck in the corner? It's always
because
me.
I'm too nice.
Always me. I'm the same as
Yeah,
you.
and you're listening, and then they come up with this whole story, or
Yeah.
they've told you their life story, and you're like, don't put that heavy shit on me.
Aye.
I don't need to know that. Like, good, I'm so sorry.
Aye, and then if
Yeah.
how do you like? I always will pre-warn, like, see my friends if we're going out and out. I'm
Yeah.
like, guys, like none of this shit
No.
tonight because I always get hit with it, and it's really not fair. Like,
Well,
I fucking hate it.
like the other day,
Uh-huh.
can we talk about your close friends?
Yes.
Are we allowed to do that?
So which one was it?
Oh, it was the other day, you were like ready to go.
Oh, right, okay,
You-
go on ahead.
Oh, I was,
Don't we-
honestly, I was putting on my clothes. I was ready to go out the door. I was like, where are we meeting him?
Uh-huh.
like you could be like on that Belfast drink company bike, really getting people ready to go. Because I was, you know, like
About the
oh
clubs.
my god,
Oh my
I was
God.
loving it. I was like, we need to book a night out.
Night out ASAP.
Yeah, like that was so
Because
good.
we talked about this in last week's episode as
did.
well. Again,
Oh, did
but
you?
Yes, we did.
So we did.
So,
Yeah.
but no, basically, I feel like, remember, like 2015 clubbing.
Yeah.
So I was talking about this with my close friends. I was basically like, guys, like, what the fuck? And like, it's kind of like a lot of my friends. I don't know about you. A lot of my friends are either like married, settled, have babies, which I'm all happy for. But we could all arrange once a year. It's not a big deal.
Just to get lost.
Just like that escapism kind of night.
And I think like a Belfast night out is completely different than like a New York, LA night out.
Have you done New York?
I grew up in America.
Right.
So I would have been 20 minutes outside New York. So like I moved to America when I was like 14.
Oh my God.
Did the whole Disney high school.
Really?
The whole like captain of the track team I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you really?
Fancied.
Were you
Oh,
really?
I can't say because that would have been my friend back in the day, just in case.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was very much like, you know, all, you know, captains of the football team, captain of the cheerleading team, like all this stuff. It was very Disney.
Right.
Which was so cool.
So you were like Troy Bolton? Or were you
no,
like...
Troy was like...
What was the
no,
other one called?
you know,
Vanessa?
Troy, Troy and like Vanessa, they were like...
Or was it Gabby? Troy and... What's her actual character
What was her name?
High School Musical?
Yeah, but what was
Gabby
her name?
and Troy?
Was it Gabby?
Gabriella and Troy.
No, they would have got bullied. You couldn't
Really?
have done acting. You couldn't have done drama class.
Really?
There was no crossover of
So
that.
you were like Sporty Spice?
Not really. I was like a gay, a closeted gay trying to find a sport that I wouldn't be, like a masculine sport. Right. So the family that I grew up with, so that you must do a sport. Every season you got to do a sport.
Okay.
So fall was football, not me. So I'd cry in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, or fall was soccer. And they
Right.
thought because I was from, you know, Europe, he's really good at soccer.
Aye.
I mean, don't know my right from my left.
No.
So they give me a bye ball on fall sports the first year. They were like, right, so if you don't, you know, you're just settling into school and so it's like, okay, so I had to like pick a club. So I picked debate club. I'm really good at arguing.
Debate? Right, okay.
Really, really good at arguing.
Oh my
But then
gosh.
winter came around and they're like, okay, winter's here. You got to pick a sport. And I was like, shit, what about wrestling? And I was like,
Well, we don't want you to
and in my head, I'm like, yeah, right. No. And in my head, I was like, I can't do wrestling, you know, because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I would love the leotard way too much. You know, the
Yeah.
singlet way too much.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that. You know,
I would
rolling
love to
around.
be like a
Oh my
wrestler.
God, are you kidding me? I mean, I went to watch wrestling because a few of my friends wrestled.
Did you ever watch like WWE, like Divas?
Oh no, like this is proper wrestling.
Oh,
Like,
right,
that's
okay.
performance.
Oh, right, okay.
No, this is like proper actual rolling around in a mat, putting somebody into some.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, and they had
Okay.
like you would have went for like a weight,
Right.
and if you didn't make that weight, you had to cut. Like it was very
right,
this was really
okay.
really serious. So they said wrestling. I was like, no. The wrestling coach every week would hammer me. You're joining. I was like, absolutely not. So I found track.
Okay.
Track is just like you stay in your own little fucking lane. You're just racing against somebody else.
Yeah.
If you don't win, or if you it's only on you.
Yeah.
There's no teammate that you have to like rely on.
Right,
Nobody has to
yeah.
rely on you. So that was my own bubble, and I ended up being really fucking good at it.
Really?
Really good at it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like ask me what my 400 time was.
What was it?
Like it was like 51 seconds.
I'm terrible at maths. Is that good?
That's once around a football field.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in 51 seconds. It was really good. I actually,
my God.
I ran track in uni for 1 year, but then at that level,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh
people,
my God.
at that level, it's very different.
Yeah.
And I would have maybe placed like second or third or first sometimes in high school. Then I was placing fifth or, you know, not placing
Yeah.
at all. And then I was just like, nah, it's just not working
Not
out anymore.
working.
Yeah. So I just quit.
And did you enjoy going to school over there?
Yeah, I did. You know, school was very different. No Protestants, no Catholics,
No,
right?
no.
So you're like in a normal school. You wear your own clothes every day.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like I had friends over there. So when I started school, I had a friend in every class.
Right.
Bar lunch.
Oh.
Right. So would you not put all your friends in your fucking lunch class? Like when you're in a class,
Right.
you're
like
not
your
allowed to
time-
speak
Oh,
anyway. So you're
yes.
just sitting at your desk doing your work and your teacher's there, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember I ate my lunch in the bathroom, in the toilet for the first.
Oh my God, like Lindsay Lohan and Mean
Like
Girls.
literally for the first 2 weeks. And my guidance
no.
counselor came in. My lunch was really fucking awkward
Oh my
lunch
God.
too.
Oh.
School started at 7:15.
Right.
And it was done at 2:15. So my lunch was 10:30 to 11:30.
Right.
Right? Imagine eating a fucking
Oh my God, you got a full hour.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich from 10:30 to 11:30. Right?
This is so
fucking rotten.
stereotypically American.
Yeah, and I hated peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So my guidance counselor came in like on week 2 and was like, "Oh, where's Luke?" Whatever. Then I was called down to the office because she was like, "I came to check on you in lunch."
Yeah.
And the lunch, like, no one's ever seen you in lunch.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, like, I have no friends there. I just kind of eat. And I know it was really awkward. And they were like, no, like, you're the boy from Ireland. Like, everybody wants to meet you in lunch. You're just going to go pick a table tomorrow and say hello. And I promise you. And it was very much, there was goths.
So was it like
oh my God, it was all broken up. There was
token Asians. I'd want to hang around with like the token Asians.
Yeah, it was completely
like the hot
that.
Asians. That would be my table. Like,
and I just picked this.
Konnichiwa. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just think they're. Like,
it's 100%. That's what it was all
think
broken
of them
up.
American movies.
Yeah, you had little artists were drawing stuff, and you could just
that wouldn't
tell.
be me. Like the Glee Club.
Yeah, no, you could just tell there was certain clicks, and I just clicked the table. There was a guy that I thought was kind of cute at that table, and I was just like, I'm just gonna sit over here.
Right.
Popular table.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was the least popular of the popular table.
Right.
So I was totally fine with that.
So like, and whenever the squad was walking down the corridor, you were the one that was maybe like, say like,
oh, no.
4 meters behind, like, hey guys, wait up.
Honey, I was last.
Oh, yeah.
But it was totally fine.
Fine, yeah.
It was
You're
fine.
still in the popular, yeah.
And the older I
It's
got,
mad school, like all them, like popularity and all.
It's so
bullshit,
weird,
isn't it?
yeah. And it's like captain of the teams. You do all this, and there's valedictorian. And
was there like prom and all?
Oh my God, yeah. So I was the only kid. So it was like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year.
Yeah.
I was the only freshman invited to senior prom.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was like a kid with an accent.
Right.
And it was all very weird, which was cool.
Yes.
But the family I lived with ended up being crazy Christians, like right wing, conservative.
Oh no.
And the older I got in my little body, I always knew I was a flaming homosexual.
Yeah.
But
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at 16, you know.
Can you remember when you kind of knew? Or like when
gosh.
you, like I remember.
Yeah, like I would, really, yeah. Like there's a moment in time where I was just like,
I mean, like in that innocent moment, like I know whenever I was a child, whenever George of the Jungle came out, like I used to always want to be Jane. I don't know why I was always attracted. So George of the Jungle, Tarzan.
Absolutely.
That was my, like, I remember like feeling, like a feeling, nothing like sexual, like just like that, like different feeling.
So
and I loved Barbies.
For me, it was Gladiators growing up.
So, right.
Was big, you know.
Yes.
Are you ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm fucking ready.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. And then it kind of.
I met Cobra one time.
Did you?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. He came to my primary school.
Stop it.
I was sitting there with my wee primary school uniform on. And then, you know, it was great back then. You were allowed to sit in, you know, where, like, some sound so fucked up. You know the way you were allowed to sit in, like, people's knees? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know the way like that wouldn't fly at Santa Grotto anymore.
No, you wouldn't be allowed to do it nowadays. Yeah.
But like I was a child, I was so happy, like sitting in Cobra from Gladiator's knee.
Yeah.
Like, what a slutty child. I was a whore.
So yeah, there was that.
Sitting, like for the wee photo.
Do you remember?
So fucked up.
Do you remember Eurotrash?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Obsessed Eurotrash.
I wouldn't be one for a bushy cock.
No, neither. No.
But back in the day, I was like, oh my God!
Like,
and then there was just little things that kind of spiraled. I went to Turkey. My mom took me on our first holiday to Turkey.
Oh my gosh!
We went on this boat trip, and there was this Turkish man. He had like lovely pecs, and I was just like, why do I want to like? Yeah, at 11. I was 11. Do you know what I mean?
You know, like Turkey and Greece. Like I remember, like you remember all like the tacky souvenirs. You maybe would have got a picture of like a porn star and like a set of cards.
Yes.
And I always stared at the cock. Like,
100%. Yeah. No, you know, and then you know it graduated to the next catalog. Sean, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
You know, catalogs, just given our age.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And then like I was the youngest of six, so I had older brothers, and there was, you know, maybe a dirty mag in the house, and I just knew where my eyes naturally glanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I loved like the lads magazine culture, and then I remember my dad, he would have bought me like lads magazines whenever I was like in my early teens. But then I would have been in the bathroom with and he like he thought, oh, this is great, you know, like, oh well, you want to look at Nuts magazine, no worries. But I'd be sitting in the mirror, like, you know, doing like the tits, like like I was inspired.
Right, okay.
Like I was like, I loved
that.
like Jordan. I was like obsessed with like Jordan Kitty Price when she was like hot Jordan, like with the biggest tits, and I was like,
hysterical.
So yeah, like it just never, and I've never looked at a woman in that way.
No, never. I've never been like.
Have you been with a woman?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had ham sandwiches.
Yes, so will I tell you my experience?
Go for it.
Right, this is like a proper actual woman, right? So like in like a group setting.
Like group sex setting?
Yeah, it was like me, another man, and her.
Oh, right.
I had moved
I love
home.
that. Right, okay.
I had moved home. Like I didn't move home to America until I was like 26. So I had like lived out in America my entire life. And I moved home and there was like Grindr. By the way, I can spot a fake profile. Like I'm very good at spotting. There was this lovely muscular
too good
body.
to be true scenario.
Like, these people live here, so I hope they don't listen. I'll never say a name, but these people live here.
Yeah,
they have a kid now.
Right. Happy for them though.
But this person messaged me and I'm just like, body's a little bit too nice, too whatever. And I just ignored it. And then it was like another day. It was every day I was at the train station in Belfast. Right. I would get this message and I was like, fuck, he must be around here somewhere. Sure enough, message. I was like, you're fake. We ended up meeting. I seen him in real life. I was like, okay, grand. So then I hounded this profile then. We only just met to say, hi, how are you? That was it.
Yeah.
So then I started hounding this profile. Ended up agreeing to meet. And I was like, listen, could my girlfriend join? And at this point, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. Right. And I was like, oh my God, that's sick, right? So I was like, yes, absolutely. But just to let you know, I haven't done really much. But, you know,
in the female department.
In the female department. He's like, no, that's totally fine. So in my head, I was like, well, that's grand. He'll take care of that. And I'll take care of him.
Right.
Right. No. Wrong.
Human centipede.
Wrong. Yeah. But no, wrong.
Ish.
He wanted to take care of me while I took care of her.
Oh.
So I was like, well, surely I could just move my tongue up and down. No problem.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, there's no real thing to it. So here's me, right? So it all happens, right? And I go into work the next day, Billy Big Balls. And I'm like, you're never going to fuck her. Because I work with lads, right? I work with lads. So I was like, they're never going to guess what. So I explained it. And they were like, oh my God, what was it like? And I was like, do you know what? It kind of, this is disgusting, right? This is like, it's going to go somewhere here. I'm like, it kind of tasted like a cheap fork. Like a bit metally.
Metally, okay.
And they all just stopped and stared. And I was like, what? And apparently that means, don't know if you know this, Sean, you're either coming on or going off your moon.
What moon?
Your period, your moon.
Oh, right. I thought you meant like the full moon.
No.
Oh, really?
So that to me just ended as like, I will never, ever do anything like that again.
Right. It's just not for you.
It was just disgusting. And a cheap fork, I am really particular about my cutlery. So see if a fork, I swear to God, see if a fork, I'm serious. See if a fork isn't heavy. Like if I go to a restaurant and I pick up a fork and it's a light, dainty,
I know what you. I
and then you eat it, and you're like, and there's that like little like metally taste. It's like a cheap fork.
I know
that's
what you
it
mean.
tasted
Actually,
like. I like a nice heavy, like a nut. Don't get me the IKEA fork. You need to go to the IKEA that has the box of forks. They're heavy shit.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so if you're at a restaurant and people laugh at me, they see me and I'm like, I hold it within my hand. I'm like,
no.
I think it judges the restaurant if you have like a cheap fork.
Well, yeah, like I think a restaurant especially. No, you want proper cutlery, like nothing fancy, but like just
see how we segued there.
And so
your man has like a fucking canteen fork.
Your man has a dude. That boy, that young man now has his man has a dude like a canteen fork.
But
100%.
Stop, I'm screaming. But like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, I remember I went through the phase and stuff that like, despite knowing in primary school whenever I seen Cobra from Gladiator that it was gay.
Yeah.
I didn't properly come out until I was about, I think maybe like 2021, and I used to do the whole like, I just love a person for who they are. Oh, honey. Like, you're not bullshit. Like, and it's like, fuck up. Like,
it's almost like when a gay says they're bi.
Like, kind of that. Like, I couldn't even say that. I was more like, I don't know what you'd even call that. But
so I was outed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was outed. I was
nice.
outed on national television.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this. No. I was on like I was a character. I was in the background of a show.
Right, so an extra.
Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Stop it, right?
Yeah, so it ended up.
Would this have been like what era?
Oh, this was season 1.
So like we were.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
She called me a faggot once.
Stop it.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh my God, that's kind of
bitch.
Iconic, but well, yeah, bitch.
She was crazy. Like the whole production.
She really is crazy as.
Do you know what? She's like, so her and Teresa are like producers' dreams.
Yes, because I love Teresa.
They're very molded into, like, when we watch it now, my partner Dara, God love him.
Yes.
I'm like, that's not real.
No.
That doesn't happen. That sort of shit. And he's like, can you stop giving me the inside scoop? Because it's just like, people show up that aren't supposed to be there already fucking mic'd.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's little things like that I kind of like explained to him. But that show was never supposed to start as Jersey Housewives. I don't know if I should say this. Yeah. So they normally don't tell the women that they're filming a housewife show. It starts off with a slate of a name.
Right.
So Jersey Housewives was called Jersey Moms.
Right.
And it was supposed to all be about family and, moms, whatever. And they knew what it was going to be, but they wanted the housewives to be centered around family. So that's why Dina and Caroline and Jacqueline, and then Teresa was the best friend. It was all very
connected.
Too close, very close. And it ended up being too close for comfort.
Right.
But so that's how that show started. So so I knew this family since I was 10. Yeah. Right. We went to, when I went over to visit America every year, the kids were all, my friends. Yeah. So it was just easy when I moved to America. I got a job at the Brownstone. Yeah. Then Dina got a wee bit busy in sort of her like event planning and, stuff like that. So I worked for her and the show naturally happened and, there was like an interview where she interviewed me. Yeah. I mean, she didn't interview me. I fucking knew her already. Do you know what I mean? So that's how fake some of the stuff is, right?
Okay.
But it was like a storyline. It was a good, like, how do we explain this, European boy that's kind of hanging around? Oh, that's my assistant. And I ended up being one, but that's how I played out.
Oh my God.
So she became very like...
I need to go back and watch
Yeah. Oh my God. No, please do not.
Really?
Right, if you knew now that you were going to be on TV, you get your hair cut. I just showed up one day,
I know why.
Fucking spiky, horrible hair.
Oh my
God. Not
gosh.
a bit of makeup on me, nothing. That's what made me wear makeup was because I saw myself on TV. But like, that's horrible. Yeah. But anyway, so she was accused of being like very Mrs. Robinson. Right, okay. And it was brought up in the reunion. And they were like, this is a bit weird. This kid, you lick your lips. You talk about paying him in kisses and pasta. And, it was all a bit of banter. Yeah. And Teresa turned around and was just like, but he's gay anyway, right? And it was just like, it was not like nobody knew. Like the girls knew. Like Dina obviously knew and I confided in her and whatever.
Oh my God.
And it was like, it was blurted out. So I live with a really conservative family who were like so like proud that this son they adopted the track star who went to school for TV is actually doing TV and told everybody, and then anybody that they told are now watching who were all crazy Christians themselves. Oh no. So I had to pack my bags. I had to flee at 18 into my own apartment. And then from 18 to I was 26 I lived by myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, there's crazy shit.
Do you have
on like that family were absolute nut jobs.
Oh my God.
Nut jobs. Like going to like therapy and like trying to like
conversion?
Oh yeah, like
oh my God.
They wanted to send me to Michigan, right to a camp, and I was like, absolutely not. I did the research and I kind of explained to them what it is that camp did. First of all, two things. They take your computer off you, right, which is fine, right? Your mobile phone. But you live in a dorm with 6 other gays. So you're like, really not helping. Right? But during this time, you are stimulated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they basically shock you. They shock down there and they shock up here. So like when people talk about conversion therapy, it's not studying the Bible and it's not coming to understand it's a sin and, and all that bullshit. It's actually, they really try to program you not to think that way. Yeah. And sometimes it works for people because the shock of it just kind of makes you like a mute. Like you're not sexually attracted to anything then at that point because your dick doesn't get, excited. Yeah. Because you've been shocked into that. But it's not getting excited for a woman either. Do you know what I mean?
And isn't that still legal in America? Or
there's states that will totally promote that. Like the church was willing to pay for that. I did go to like a therapy, which was like a pastor, and I thought I was going to be challenged on the Bible. Like I know the book of the Bible. Like I grew up in this church, this born again Christian evangelical. There's a lot of things going on at the minute about like TikTok and certain people being part of a church. Yeah. And I'm just like, the words that they say really scare the shit out of me because that's the stuff that was shoved down my throat. Yes. And I accepted it as a young adult because I was like, oh, right, okay, like this is just the atmosphere the environment I'm brought up in. Yeah. But the older I got in high school, the more I realized actually I am the biggest female homosexual ever.
Yeah.
And the more conservative of a family I lived in made me more liberal in my thoughts. But yeah, books of the Bible, I could name them from start to finish. So I went to this pastor thinking I'm going to be challenged in every book and every quote and every verse. And, you know, I was trying to like think of things to say back. And he sat down, this old, like lazy boy. He was like, just a real creep. Yeah. Old lazy boy chair, and he like leaned back, and you could hear like the leather, and like I could picture it, like I could remember everything. And he was drinking a Diet Dr Pepper. If that's not alarming,
anyone that drinks Dr
And I could
Pepper.
hear like the, and he started talking to me about my experiences, and I was just like, this isn't what we're supposed to be talking about. Like, I'm supposed to be talking about, you know, revelations and how my sins are going to be, you know, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
No, he wanted to know, like, and I was just like, nah, sorry, I left. So, like, I explained to the family what the therapy was. Have you done the research? They didn't actually really look into much of it.
God.
They just wanted the problem fixed. But yeah, so 18 to 27, like, on my own. But that's where, like, Dina came in, because she was like, I was like a little rescue dog, right? Who'd, like, had no family. And she already knew me from I was 10. I lived with her since then.
Yeah.
You know, so all of that was like kind of crazy. So, but for all the shit that I've experienced, like really cool, fun.
Yeah.
Like I went to like the premiere of The Proposal.
Stop it.
Right. This was like one of the first things Dina was invited to. It was a People magazine premiere.
My God.
And it came in the email, and I was just like, listen, can we please go to this? And she was like, she doesn't do that. Like,
right, okay.
You know when like people seek out fame and it doesn't come?
Yeah.
Like she wasn't seeking out anything, and she got this fame, and she wasn't interested in doing any of these things. So I begged her, please fucking go. So we got a limo and we went to whatever. And because I was obsessed with Sandra Bullock.
I'm obsessed. Miss Congeniality, yeah.
Was my favourite, right? But I was so obsessed that I had a MySpace pretending to be her, right? Right. Sean, do you remember are you old enough for MySpace, Sean?
It's
okay, don't worry.
I was MySpace. Do you remember like Tila Tequila?
Oh, yeah, absolutely I do.
Crazy,
yeah,
but
absolutely. So MySpace, I would put up like a paparazzi photo.
Right.
All right, of her.
Of Sandra Bullock.
I'd be like walking my dog in Beverly Hills, and people would call, like, I had like a good like 3,000 friends at this point on MySpace.
Oh,
I was on people's top 8s as Sandra Bullock.
Oh my God.
Right? And she was all like, people were commenting, that is not Sandra Bullock. And I'm like, yes, it is. I'm walking my dog, like, that is a paparazzi taken from a magazine.
Stop it.
Yeah. So those are like all cool experiences I wouldn't have received without going through a little bit of trauma at the start of my, you know.
No, I get it. I get it.
You know?
I know, and thankfully, like, you know, it's not like, you know, you're able to kind of get out of that situation too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but it's
and they
scary.
slide into the DMs the odd time. Like they'll see a clip of this at some point because they're like, they'll block it and they unblock it and then they look.
Really?
And then they block you again.
So are you still in contact with these people?
So the odd time, like they reach out to my mum sometimes. And I'm like, that's really, that you're hitting a soft spot there because my mum will always respond. Mummy doesn't really know the extent of issues.
Right, okay.
But they'll send stuff like, do you want any of your photos? We found photos in the basement. Do you want them? And I'm like, no, like why would I want photos of like me and my sister? Like these are sisters that like I grew up with, and I'm just like, how do you want that for somebody? You want somebody to not be themselves.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and I remember we went on a cruise at one point, and they were like, you know, it was like the grandparents paid for the cruise, all the cousins, everybody was being invited. They didn't want to leave me out. Yeah. And they were like, you want to go? And I was like, okay, like I'll go. I was like, then maybe this is like a peace offering. There might be like a bit of a bridge here that we could cross and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And the mom like brought me around one day and she was just like, right, okay, we're really excited that you're going on the cruise. And I was like, thanks, yeah. She goes, no, we want the old look there.
Oh my
And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, no, like we just want like just the old look. And I was like, but look hasn't changed. Like I literally wasn't. All I said was the guy I first kissed was also called Luke. Okay. Who happened to be in the same town, and the mums ended up being friends, but we went to 2 different high schools in town, so I didn't know this. Right. And basically, we came down the stairs one day, like in towels, because we didn't think anybody was home. Right. And the mum came in. Okay. And my response was, Donna? And she was like, Luke. And then the son looked at me, being like, her son looked at me, being like, what's going on here? And they, like, our moms were PTA moms, right?
Oh, right.
And she just turned around and said to me, she's like, we will not tell your mother, because they knew how Christian they were. But I was so proud. This guy was like stunning. Like he was like belonged in fucking One Tree Hill back, right? He was, he was stunning.
Right.
And I was so proud that I was, oh my God,
right?
But I was so proud. I was like, this is my piece.
Girl.
Yeah.
Yes,
this is my piece.
it.
So I wanted to parade that about. So it was just like, no, you're not allowed to do that. And I was like, right, okay, that's fine. So I went on the cruise. The night before the cruise, I was like, fuck them. I'm not doing this. Like, so I dyed my hair. Like, when I tell you the color, it wasn't supposed to be the color of that Voodoo's bottle, but it was supposed to be blonde. It kind of came out piss yellow.
Okay.
And I arrived at the airport.
Silver shampoo maybe wasn't as
no, it wasn't as prominent back then.
Yeah.
So I arrived at the airport flaming. Like, I was like, right. And I was like, fuck them. This is how I'm going. And then I got a bug for a cruise ship. And I was like, bitch, I'm staying. And I ended up like 4 months later working on a cruise ship for a year. Yeah. I was
like you actually couldn't make out of this.
Yeah, I know. I was like, fuck it, I'm staying on this ship. Like, I applied. I came home. I applied for a job. I drove from New Jersey to Toronto. Went for an interview, and one of the interview questions was, we've planted, it was like a group setting. Yeah. And one of the interview questions was, we've planted a cast member from the cruise here. Could you point out who that is, please? And everybody pointed at me. And I was like, I've got this fucking job.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then what was the cruise company called? Can you say?
Oh, yeah, Carnival Cruise Lines.
Oh my gosh,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah. I fucking called bingo for 365 days.
Really?
Well, I was on for 2 contracts, on for 6 months at a time.
So you were the bingo caller?
Oh, honey, I did everything. Like, we did bingo. I introduced the shows.
Was it 2 fat ladies? Idiot.
Oh no, I would have. I would have told a story. I would have told a story like, oh my God, and I would have said something, whatever. Sometimes it would have got a bit too dirty, and they're like, you need to reel it in. This is a family ship.
Well, you know, don't talk.
I was like, before, not after and I would have said something, right? But there was one time, you want to hear a real horrible bingo experience.
Go. Oh my God, right?
You know, like the National Lottery, there's the hopper and all the balls are, right? So every cruise, we did a win a cruise bingo. And it was the biggest one. It was the moneymaker. We always got a wee bit of commission.
Yes.
So you really, that drove you to sell fucking tickets all week, right? So every I was like, win a cruise bingo. You know, you do this whole thing all week and win a cruise bingo. And I was on, and you're on in your fancy suit, and you're doing all this stuff. And you know, you're really feeling yourself because you're like, this auditorium's fucking filled. I'm getting a few £100 extra in my paycheck this week.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoppers loaded. Now, somebody else loaded the hopper, right? So so it started. And I'm calling out numbers. And I'm just like, we're really deep into the numbers at this point. I'm like, fuck me, why has nobody won yet?
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I would hear a, right? And I was like, what is that noise? Somebody didn't close the hopper, right? And there was balls fucking leaking out.
Oh my God,
So that's why people weren't winning. So I just remember, there was this lady in the front row, traditional American cruiser.
Yeah.
We don't need to describe her. Yeah, we don't need to describe her, but you know, right? Yeah, she was at Guy's Burger Joint for lunch, right?
Yeah.
She was there.
Mobility scooter.
Exactly, right? And she was all like, oh my God, sir, there's something on the floor by your feet. And I looked down and I was like, oh my God, it's a fucking bingo ball. But they were literally, all they were little light. Thingy balls,
like
ping pong balls with numbers on them. So that's why they were like, that's how they would float around and shit. So I was like, oh my God, sorry, I'll just pick it up. And there was like serious bingo people there. And like, no, you can't. Because like there's a whole thing here.
Right.
So the auditorium like was like 3 floors, you know, it was really fancy, erupted in arguments of, do we start the game again and put all the balls back in?
Well, I would have said that.
Or do you just continue and let whoever's almost close to the line just win? And when I tell you, people got like, we lived below water, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But when I tell you, people got so vicious.
Really?
Security told me, I think you should just miss debarkation this, because I would have done the debarkation and you know, they're like, you just need to like stay below water until these people leave, because it's not good.
Figuratively,
yeah,
and
actually.
No, like, so at one point, like, I had my microphone and there was like people were coming on stage, like approaching to try, and I looked at the sound man, I gave him the microphone and I was like, I'm actually off here now, and somebody else finished the bingo, and I didn't appear above water until that ship barked or debarked or whatever you fucking want to call it. Yeah, that was so good though.
And then, well, we know about the cruisers. Did you ever see any pineapples outside rooms?
Pineapples on the doors. So we weren't allowed to obviously...
Like, you don't shit where you eat.
You're not allowed to shit with your eat. So you were never allowed to step into a cabin. So if you stepped into a cabin, you would have got the sack. Yeah. Doesn't mean I didn't take them onto the slide.
Oh. You mean like the water slide?
Oh my God, middle of the night, 12 o'clock at night, the water slide is empty. If you can't calm in your cabin, I would suggest going to the water slide.
But
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because the cruise that we were on, the hot tubs were always open at like 6 a.m., which I didn't realise until like the last.
But did you have? Yeah, you would have had a wee water slide. Did you have a water slide?
We had. There was like water slides. And all
but so the water's off. Do you know what I mean? Water's off at night. You would just climb up. Or there's like dry slides. Some ships have dry slides. You just go down like a dry slide, a nice little quiet area. That was just good for staff because, oh God, I'm sure there's a whole crew of people now that can't go down. Sorry.
No. Oh well, I'll say they'll be grand.
But I mean, I'm sure you get your action in port these days.
Yes.
But yeah, so
my God. Did you love it? Would you do it again or done?
I wish I didn't leave.
Really?
Yeah, I left. So I left because the reason I went on the ship was Dina stopped doing Housewives. Mm-hmm. And I was like, right, okay.
This is all so random.
Yeah, she was like, my job is not...
Let's just do like a quick recap, right? Christian family, track star, in the closet, potential conversion therapy camp. Dina's PA?
Yes, a little bit of celeb life.
Going to red carpet events, Real Housewives.
Kim Kardashian's wedding.
What?
I went to Kim Kardashian's wedding to Kris Humphries. I've never wanted a gift. I've never wanted a gift back more in my life. Okay, what was it, 70? I swear to God, I'm not joking. Well,
out of all the weddings that she's had, that's the one I wanted to go to.
So, by the way, I wasn't invited. So, my name wasn't Donna. I was a +1. Dina was invited. I was a +1. Yeah. It was just easy. Dina's husband was constantly working. Yeah. There wasn't anybody. She was like, she always brought me. I drove. It was like I didn't drink. It was the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
So, that I wasn't there on my own merit. And I'll always say that.
So, nearly more like you were like the chaperone.
Absolutely.
Dina,
yeah. But like, who was I rubbing up shoulders with? Like, every other housewife was fucking. It was like an NBC network event. Because E and NBC and Bravo, they're all together, right? It's all one. It's under one big umbrella,
right?
So every cunt was there,
right?
But like my favorite person that I like gasped at was Lance Bass, and like we were just standing in sync,
and yes.
So we were all just standing in like this group of people, and like there's some people that wouldn't look at you because they're like you're dirt on their shoe, dirt on your shoe, but then there's other people like Ramona. Like Ramona from Real Housewives of New York, wouldn't look at you.
Really?
But Sonia, I'd be holding her hair back in the bathroom.
Really?
If she's having a boke.
Was the Countess Luann?
Luann was here recently.
Yes,
she was indeed. Yeah, she loved it. Luann, the only thing that I could describe Luann as is like an ant's life or a bug's life. Yeah, there was those giant ants.
Yes,
she just reminds me of a giant ant. She's really tall in person.
Yeah.
But so that whole wedding was great. Now, so there was the California wedding,
right?
But it was a New York party,
right?
So it was the New York party, the wedding reception that I was at,
right?
And it was designed by like Kevin Cowie and whoever else it was designed the whole thing.
God,
but it was a fair that I'll never ever forget.
And did you have to sign like NDAs? Or
No. It was all just you went in. Now the way it was organized was like. They were almost like royalty. Like at this stage, they were hot, but like they were still looked down upon a wee bit.
Like reality TV hot. They were in that level. Yeah.
So like they felt that they were royalty, so they didn't mix much with us.
Okay.
There was like a little platform that they stood up on, and then all the other celebrities and their guests were all kind of like on a lower section.
Right.
But I remember going to the after party was at Justin Timberlake's restaurant, but it was so ridiculous.
Sean.
It was like a Hell's Kitchen, but Justin Timberlake, and the after party was there, and so it was interesting. You know what I mean? And then there's me that like moves home, goes on a cruise ship for a while, moves home, and then ends up working in like a call center.
No.
You know what I mean? Well, that was like years ago. So that was like I was 20. I was in my 20s. I kind of moved home. So talk about being humbled very quickly.
Right.
I was very much humbled.
So then did you live in like LA then at a point too?
So I moved home for a year, and then So I moved home. Dina kind of got... So I worked on the cruise ship. I left the cruise ship and we did another TV show called on HGTV called Dina's Party. Right. It was like 2 seasons. It was like a design party about teaching like American viewers how to throw like a party out of their house. Right. And we did like a wee fixer-upper. We had a fixed your kitchen. We would have done something, gave you like a new room.
Oh my God.
And we did that for 2 seasons. And then Dina got a divorce. So any of the downtime that we weren't on camera, I worked at the Brownstone. Right. So I always had money coming in. Okay. And I went from being Dina's assistant to being his assistant. Yeah. And, you know, his work was very, very different, very a little bit scary, very... Stuff crossed the desk that I was just now as an older adult being like, wow, okay, yeah, like there really are like you know, stuff being related to just unnice stuff that was just weird. Right. And this all happened at a catering facility, and I was like, you know, booking weddings and shit. Right. But there was like cash just flowing, and I was just a wee bit, Right. But back then, you would never have thought, you wouldn't have blinked an eye because you were in this and it was like, just this is life. And now looking back on what happened to Dina afterwards, I now realise, wow, there was like a mob related, it was like a type of a thing. Yeah. So she got divorced. I felt like the kid in a relationship because I didn't know who I was more loyal to. You know, obviously the show paid me whenever the show was on. Yeah. He paid me when it didn't. She was leaving the family house. I lived there. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going home. I had nowhere else to go. Fair. Moved home to Lisburn. Yeah. Stayed there for a year. In between that year, Dina moved from New York to Beverly Hills. Right. And she was like, do you want to come live in LA with me? And I was like, yes. Yes. Oh my God. So then I was an LA baby for like 2 years, like a year and a half. Oh my gosh. I love LA. LA is like a fun place. But it's dark too. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like, especially the gays. The gays are very weird in LA. Toxic. They're like, if you don't bring something for them, they don't want to know you. Whereas like a New York gay would be like, they'd hang out with whoever. Yes. So like if I said to you in LA, or if you asked me in LA, do you want to come to my pool party on Saturday? Which I asked a lot of weekends. Nobody ever turned up. They'd be like, oh my God, yes, honey, super, what time? And you'd be like, da-da-da, and you'd get stuff and da-da. And like maybe like 2 or 3 people showed up and you're like, I've invited a bunch of people. What has sort of happened? And I was trying my hardest to make friends because we were all new in LA. Like Dina had nobody to sort of lean on. But in New York, if you had asked me to go to your pool party and I wasn't interested, I'd be like, no, sorry, like I'm just not interested. So you knew where you stood with people. Right. In New York, in LA, you really just didn't. I was just trying to find myself. Oh my God. And then that throws you onto the apps. So not having Grindr. Friends. Grindr was my best friend in LA because I was like, I had no friends. We've all been there. You're aware of Grindr, Sean, yeah? You know Grindr? Yeah, are you one of those wee black squares, Sean? Or? Come on, Sean, it's okay. Oh, are you? Yes. You're definitely a black square then.
I know he has voluptuous hair and he's wearing the voodoo. He takes care of his hair. But no, he's a macho man. Oh, okay, Sean. No, he's no black square. He's no down low. Daddy. He's 100% sirloin steak, straight meat. Meanwhile, me and you, we are fish. Oh, honey, yeah. Well, we're tuna. No, we're salmon. Fuck me. Oh, salmon? I said tuna. Salmon. Oh God, no. We're better than that. Right. So, you're on the apps, and how'd you find that? Oh my God. Bridget Jones vibes. No, like scary vibes. Really? I have such. Really? Yeah. Oh my God. Stop. Well, I'll just tell you. Right. Go for it. Right. Okay. So I was driving on the number 10 freeway, which is like always busy. So you're like bumper to bumper traffic. Okay. Right. So you do not move. So I was on my phone behind the wheel. Okay. Okay. But you don't move for like 10, 15 minutes. Okay. And you know when like it's hot, it's summer, the heat's, you know what I mean? Yeah. The heat, it's just, things are building up in you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You haven't had attention in a few days. Yeah. Whatever it might be. You're on, you're looking. Yeah. You're scrolling. You know what I mean? It's coming on, it's come on thick. So I see a torso. This is terrible, right? I've never done this in my life, but I did. Okay. I would never do it again, actually, because I learned a lesson. Okay. I seen a torso. Okay. And all I could describe it as was like a beautiful Tom Daly torso. Okay. With Speedos. Right. But it was like a really lovely caramel color. It was just right up my alley. Okay. Lovely, just unbelievably. Okay. So I was just like, what's your location? I didn't care about the face. Okay. I was young, right? I was really young. I was young in my young 20s. So I was like, I didn't even ask for a face pic. I was just like, what's your location? It looked like on the map,
park, like it looked like an apartment building.
Right, okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
I'm like, how bad can this be?
Oh my God, it gets
really?
brutal.
Nothing shocks me though. So
good.
Right.
Okay, we'll see. So he gave me really specific instructions. There's a parking garage attached to the apartment building. Parking level 3. You can walk into the apartment building from the parking garage.
Right.
So I'm like, this is really fucking handy. I don't even have to buzz.
Yeah.
There's none of that embarrassment waiting, somebody standing at the door, all that stuff. Yeah. You're just straight into the apartment building. And he gave you basically
like a full like Airbnb kind of like how to get into the house.
100%.
Like here's the passcode.
Oh no, there wasn't even a passcode. It was like the door opens from the parking garage. I was right. So it was all good. So I'm walking towards the door. I open the door, and you're right in. You see everyone's hall mats. You see like welcome, and the wee footprints, whatever the fuck you have. But when I walked in, right, there was like a waft hit me up the head, like like a waft of like
like a smell.
Yeah,
right.
And I was like, that smells familiar, but I don't like the smell.
Okay,
it's like a weird smell.
Was it a metal fork?
No, the metal fork came after this experience, right? I probably should have learned my lesson with this one. So I was like, right, okay. So I get to the door, I knock it and whatever. There's a mat, everything. I walk in, there's a kitchen. He's sitting down and he's eating a sandwich. And I was just like, oh, it's so fucking weird. Like, why have you not brushed? I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You gotta be
hygiene,
clean.
Yep.
It was like, but it was like a tuna fish sandwich, right? And I was like, hey. And I was like, hi. And like his arms were massive and you could see the chest, but the face was just like, ooh, that face is a little bit older than what that body looked like.
Right.
And then like the way he got up, he tried to get up, it was very from the arms.
Okay.
And then in my head, I was like, his arms are big for a reason. Right, getting up. And then,
hold on.
Right, and then I put this.
Do you mean?
Yeah, I put the smell together, which was very clinical. And then I realized, I looked at his face, it was slightly older, and I was putting all of these things together, and I was like, I'm in an assisted fucking living home, okay? And I was like, right, okay, this is like, this is really fucked up. You know one of those assisted living that's like
a nursing home?
Like no, in America it's very different. You can go into these from like 50 onwards, a little bit of assisted living, everyone has their own, right?
Like a fold.
It's like a fold maybe, right? But we call them assisted living. But I looked around in the kitchen.
It's a fold.
Yeah.
You're just trying to you're just trying to put a bit of M&S sparkle on it.
No, I think a fold is very much like it was clinical. There could have been a nurse.
Okay.
Right? So and then I looked in the corner and there was like a red pull string, right?
Right.
And he was on a rollator. Okay.
But
he wasn't old enough to be on a rollator. Something tragic has happened in this man's life.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And he's used a photo from whenever maybe life wasn't as tragic or something has happened. Sorry. I do not mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. But I literally, my life flashed before my eyes because I'm the type of person, I know if you've been in this situation, Jerry.
Okay.
Where, do you know when you show up sometimes to a house and you're like, oof, okay, that was filtered a few times.
Yeah. That happened to me in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, and you're kind of going like, shit, I'm just going to have to go ahead and go.
Stop!
I'm just going to have to go through with this.
You're kind of like, you got me now.
You're already in, the door's closed, you're fucked.
It is, because I'm so polite. I'm like, I don't want to turn around and say, what the fuck, you filtered your photo or you're ugly. Like,
no,
I'm just
you just have to roll with it.
You have to roll with it.
But I couldn't roll with this because he was practically rolling himself.
Okay.
I don't know what mobility problems we have here. I don't know what's working.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going, what's right.
Yeah.
So I literally just turned around and I said, okay, so my friend drove me here. And he just wants to make sure I haven't been chopped up and murdered. Yeah. He's just on level 3. I'm just going to nip out, run down, just wave to him to say that I'm grand and I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And he was like, yep. Now, it took him a minute or two to make it his way because we obviously got up.
Yes.
And he spoke. And he said, I'm going to make my way to the bedroom. And I was like, yeah, I will meet you there. And so I feel bad that he probably hung out there for a few minutes and was like, where is this? Is this person coming back? I just don't know if maybe that's happened to him previously before because the cunt did not disclose anything. Didn't say he was in a fold or an assisted living home. Okay. Didn't say any of that, but gave very good fucking instructions.
Yeah.
So I was like, in my head, I was like, I will never, ever do that again.
No. This is the thing with internet dating and the apps and stuff, especially like the hookup apps and all. It's like people like you need to be crystal clear because like I think it's very important that everybody knows where they stand with it. 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's not catfishing, but it's kind of like
yeah. I mean, listen. I think if you look at my Instagram and everybody can go look and judge.
Yeah.
Pre-reels, because everything's a reel nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like if you were to take a photo of me for my Instagram, and I'm the first to admit it, my friends all laugh at me, and like I went missing, and you used that photo. I'm not being found. 100% not. Sorry.
Hollywood 4.
Sorry, I use Facetune. I'm very good at Facetune. I'm really good at it. To the point where they removed a feature once. How much do you pay for it? Do you pay?
I pay for the full whack. So
right, yeah, I pay for the full whack, but I'm going to tell you now, I get a bargain. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I signed up when it first came out. My prices never changed.
Really?
Guess how much I pay?
How much?
79 cents.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I think I
downloaded it when it first came out.
Oh my God.
I pay 79 cents and I emailed them one day feedback because they removed the relight feature. And I was like, you fucking took away and they responded back with VIP at facetune.com. And I was like, oh my God. They know exactly what I'm doing. They see everything when I'm the before and the after.
It's kind of like, is that a flex or is that like a low point in life? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I've never been out of the low. It's such a low point.
It's like when you go into the Chinese and they already know your order.
Know your order. That happens to me all the time. Like chicken fried rice again. I'm like, oh, fuck, bitch. John Tang, shut the fuck up. I swear.
I think
he knows what I'm getting.
Time for to hear from today's sponsor.
Today's sponsor, yes, guys, we have got a new sponsor. As you can see, we've got some bougie products in front of us. We're going to move into the ad read, and we're going to be getting back into more dirt, more drama, more dish. But let's hear from our sponsors, which is Voodoo's. Okay, guys, so this week's episode is sponsored by Voodoo's. Voodoo's are an Irish hair brand who have a selection of hot styling tools, home care ranges, styling products and accessories. Whether you're looking to revitalize your hair, add some volume or just give it the love it deserves, Voodoo's has a range of products that do it all. So yes guys, Voodoo's is our sponsor for this month. You use Voodoo's, Look?
I do, yes.
Yeah. What would be your, like we've got the aerosols here, that's our product of the week.
Well, that is my product. So I would use Defender and then I would also use this one here.
Oh yes, Trendsetter. I love the hairspray.
First of all, smell like
so
crack.
This is so one thing I have to say. Do you know the way? Remember them really really cheap hairsprays and it smells like nearly like petrol or something. It's disgusting.
Oh, can we even say another brand? No, like the old lady hairspray, Lynette.
Yeah,
that gold stuff.
It's a no.
No, see
it's
this though.
This is
crack. Right, it's addictive.
Yeah, it is
so good.
Can you smell it, Sean?
It smells good.
So that there, guys, Defender protects the hair. So if you're using whether it's a wand, whether it's your straighteners, curling tongs, Defender will protect it. Obviously, with the heat that you're putting on your hair, you don't want to be damaging your hair. So that has you covered. It smells absolutely amazing. This is Trendsetter. It is the hairspray. I do love it. I could actually do with a wee bit. I love loads of hairspray. You the same.
Yeah, and you know what? That is extra hold. Yeah. You can still put your fingers through it, which I absolutely love. Yeah.
Well, we love putting our fingers through things.
Absolutely.
We do.
And then that last one's really good too. That's your wee dry shampoo one.
So a lot of people, so dry shampoo, texture spray, if you want a bit of volume. You could do a wee bit of volume, Sean, I'm not going to lie.
Can I try them?
Yeah, try them out, yes. Right, try them out, Sean.
Oh, honey, let's get him a makeover.
Sean is like, what do I think? Right, because Sean, you do have a lot of hair, so what do you think?
It's hard to find a good
dry shampoo without it feeling like dusty.
And then there's another little trick for your makeup.
Okay.
If you spray
Trendsetter for white shirts.
White shirts.
So like if you have if you're wearing a white shirt, if you're going out, if you spray the collar of your shirt with this here, if you're putting on say like tan or makeup or whatever, your shirt will remain white. So multi-purpose.
So good.
These products are amazing. I do love the hairspray. It's my favourite. It's my absolute favourite. But look guys, this is this month's sponsor, Voodoo's. Thank you so much for sponsoring. This is what we're talking about this week. So get your hands on the aerosol cans. So whether it is the Trendsetter, whether it is the Defender, or whether it is the Prep Talk, we're on a different kind of prep. The dolls get it. Look, anyway, Voodoo's is the sponsor for this month. Thank you so much. And don't forget, you can take advantage of that 20% discount. Just enter the code popmycherry at the checkout. But look, we're going to get back into this episode. Woo!
No, but listen, I said I would never do it again, but needs must.
So you've done it again?
Not necessarily. Listen, I'm really good at capturing a fake person from this particular time.
Okay.
I was in, and you know what? The person's probably going to be watching this or something because it was definitely a setup.
Right.
But I'm really good at thinking on my feet. So I was sent to, you know, when like you're chatting away and da-da-da.
Yes.
So, right. So go to Dunmurray.
Okay. So you're chatting to a guy on Grindr
Yep.
in the past, and then you go to Dunmurray.
So it's sent to Dunmurray, you know, da-da-da. You know, you just, where it is, you can park here, whatever, door number.
Right.
And it was, listen, just come down the side of the house. There's a door on the left, whatever.
Okay.
Just knock that one.
Right.
Parked. As a good person, followed all the instructions, right? I love a good detailed instruction because you're like, this way, you're never feeling awkward.
Yes.
So as I'm walking down the side of the house,
Uh-huh.
I see there's like a window, like a bay window, and the light's on. So I'm like, that's grand. But as I'm walking past the side of the house, it feels like you would normally like glance into the window.
Yes.
I glance in, and there's a woman doing the dishes.
You are joking
And she kind of went like that. And he was like, I'm in the garage or garage or however you guys say it. I said it differently, right? Yeah. And I was like, no. So I can see her like going like with the hands, getting the suds off the hands. And like, I'm like, right, okay. So the police are either going to be called for I'm like looking into someone's back garden.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'm just going to have to go to the door and just make fucking something up. Because I'm going to look at, I look like a criminal at this point.
Right, okay.
So I went to the front door, she answered, and she was like, do you have the right place? I was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here to buy a PlayStation off Gumtree. And she yells, I'll never forget it. She yells back and she's like, Greg! She's like, are you selling a PlayStation off Gumtree? And I'm like, Greg, you're going to fucking get it when I get, like, I'm going to you're getting fucking fucked here. I am sending you such a scathing message. Like, how fucking dare you? Your wife is in the kitchen.
Oh my God.
Right? And he was like, no PlayStation. She goes, sorry, love. I said, oh, must have been a fake ad. And I just walked away. And as I was walking away, I pulled out the phone as if, and I was blocked. But I don't think Greg from Dunmurray, if there's a Greg out there from Dunmurray that has a wife, I don't think that was. I think somebody is sitting in another house and is ha.
Oh really?
Seen this young, this guy walking up, and I think it was so
like
much
a prank.
of a prank. And that was probably my last ever proper moment of, just a risky yada yada. I moved on at that point because then, like, anybody listen, like stories of getting set up, beat up, all that stuff. I was never in that mindset, and whenever that happened to me, I was like, shit, that actually could have been a completely different story. Yeah. And then I met my partner quite soon after that. Yeah. Literally standing in a Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah. Student Starbucks.
Oh my gosh, just like the movies.
He was ahead of me. Bastard's card wasn't working. I was in such a mood, and I was like, and I was just like, one of those like pay it forward things, but I was in a mood of like, I need to hurry up here, whatever. I was just like, I'll just get it. Right. And then he turned around, and I was just like, and we chatted, didn't realize he was gay at the start, and then the more we talk went on, I was like, oh my God, he's definitely gay, whatever. Got his number. Boom. We didn't even go on dates. That was it.
Oh my God.
We Netflixed and chilled, and then hung out a bunch of times, and I was like, oh, I never want to let anybody else date this person.
Oh my God.
Yeah, nicest thing ever. I know. Natural, I think. Ish.
Is that like the autobiography version?
Story we tell our parents.
Yes.
They're probably going to be listening, so yes, it is.
Okay.
No, that is the truth.
Something along the lines.
It was a really nice thing. It was so funny. He upped his age. I downed my age. Right. That's the way, and we didn't know until it was like a really important birthday, and it was like a few months later.
Oh my God. Oh my God,
you said you were older, you bastard.
Oh my God.
And he was like, I know, and I was like, I'm actually older too, so there's a 9-year age difference between us.
What's your thoughts on age? I think age is just a number.
Listen, a few of my friends date people with a different age. There's an age difference. Obviously you can always work the age out. At some point it's probably weird. Yeah. But when you're in your, I'm not going to say my age, but when you're slightly older, it's not a bit like we're not, I went on my 30th. I'm over 30. Yeah. I went to Vegas for my 30th. Dee came with me. Yeah. With a few of our friends. We rented a cabana. We had a pool girl. It was fucking awesome, right? Oh my God, I love it. And she turned around and she was like, oh my God, are you guys brothers? Are you guys twins? And I felt like saying, yes, we fucking... Yes. Do you know what I mean? Like for the age, thinking I'm 9 years younger. Yeah. But we don't look... I think maybe I look younger than what I am, or maybe Dee looks slightly older. I don't know, but we, listen, it works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, and skipped like me being like to his mom, like, do not tell your mother my fucking age.
Yes.
Because the oldest, my sister, is the same age as his mum.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean? Because I was one of 6.
Right. So way back.
Yeah, right. So they're the same age.
Okay.
And I was like, so do not be like, there's stuff, like I live with them now.
Yeah.
We all live together. We're saving for a house. So I'm very much down at his house living.
Yes.
And there's things that I'll say, I'm like, oh, do you remember? And his mum's like, look, you're showing your age, because like he doesn't know that, but I do. So that's funny. And we all get along. It's like the best. Like it's such a good house to be in. But for my 30th, I got a birthday card from her, and it was... first birthday, whatever. Maybe she was like thinking, who the fuck is this person? I don't know.
Yes.
And it was like a piece of recycled card, brown.
Right.
And it just had like typewriter text.
Oh, right, okay.
And it just said 30. I was like, okay, she knows my age. That's okay. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. So that was the last time ever. Grindr, boom.
Oh
never
my gosh.
again.
Never again. No, I think it's so toxic. I think when you're younger, you go, you gotta kiss the frogs. But I think when you're older, like you get to that point where you're just like, no, like let's raise the bar.
100%.
You're never going to meet proper connections that way.
No, and it's very much,
But if you're in that chapter in your life,
and you're single or whatever it is, or you're in a couple that you guys want to do that, 100%, that's fine. It's the blank squares, it's the it's the fakeness, it's the fake profiles. I mean, profiles used to be sent, and like if anybody needs to spot a fake profile, there's tons of different ways. I feel like I should educate people. A full bathroom mirror. If the wall is a full mirror, that's an American photo.
Right.
Look at door handles. If the door handles are round and there's a lock in the middle, that's an American door.
Oh my God.
Look at like photos of like what the plug is. So if there's a plug in the room, what does the plug look like? Old granite style countertops where like bathtubs are like curved into the tiles.
Yeah.
That's American. There's so many little things that I look at that I can be like, that photo's completely fake. That's not a real person.
Oh my God.
The person's real. It's just obvious it's not them.
Been taken. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so good at it. Like my friends show me pictures of Grindr. I'm like, that person's not real, sorry.
No.
Our skin tone doesn't match sometimes. You're just like, from one photo to the next,
it looks different.
You're a completely different person, or hairstyles.
And I don't get it. It's so bizarre. Like, have you seen all that stuff like the GA Catfish?
Yes.
Mental,
oh my goodness. So I never listened to the podcast, but Dara has filled me in the backstory, and it's just like, sometimes it's scary because sometimes you send something, or I've sent stuff before in the past, and it's like you've instantly got blocked, and I'm just thinking I could never run for an election because my tool would definitely be out there at some point.
You see,
do you know what I mean?
I've never have.
Ever?
Never, no.
Never. Well, I suppose I've never sent with a face.
Yeah.
I guess. I hope not. Anyway, I don't really remember. I'm sure somebody will keep me right in
Yeah.
the comments. But yes, I'm always very smart. Or sometimes you just, you gotta trust the person. But I could never run for an election. I don't know any homo now, any gay man running for an election. I don't know how dirt's not going to come out of him because we're all the same, really.
No,
at some point.
But there's such like it's so annoying. There's such a shame still. Like people still have like a societal shame about it.
100%,
do you know what I mean? It's just like,
and like that was my mum. Like my mum had like the doctor tortured as a kid, being like, he's gay, but not from a sense of that she was nervous or worried about it. It was just more, I know he is, just tell me that he is type thing. Like in nursery school, she picked me up first day in nursery school, had a pram, was wearing a dress, string of pearls around me, big sun hat, and she was like, get that fucking off him. And they're like, no, we encourage kids to play what they want. Like there was no environment that shoved me into a pair of heels.
Yes.
As a kid playing.
That's what you gravitated towards.
You used to sit on a curb with a cigarette butt and like talk like your aunties. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny that's the way.
I don't know if you did that, Sean, but
it's funny though, that's the way.
100% done that.
But it's funny that's the way you were, because I don't know, I'm just so toxic clearly, because I would have I would have got a t-shirt and rolled it into like a belly top.
Right.
The guy's always obsessed with like the pop star, like Britney Spears with a belly out.
Right. So middle-aged me was a middle-aged woman. I dressed in my mum's clothes and I was a teacher. Yeah. And I talked to nobody in my room and I wrote on the chalkboard on the back of and I was like a mom. I wanted to be a cool mom. But how funny is it that I came from such a I was in Northern Ireland, very backwards, closed-minded,
100%.
right? And I was moving to the big city in America, whatever.
Yeah.
And so funny how the family that should have been opening and accepting was the complete opposite.
The other way.
And like my mom and my sister, I never had an issue.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
So when I was 21 in America, and 21's like the gay club. I obviously was on my own. I had friends, but didn't have family. So my mom and my sister and my niece just showed up one day at my apartment door.
Oh my God.
For my 21st birthday. Like, surprise. And I was like, fuck.
Oh, stop.
Because I had a whole limo booked. We were going to the gay club. We were going to have this whole big experience.
Or...
Oh no, we were going into like Hell's Kitchen in New York.
Yes, New York. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Oh my God, right. So it was
my God.
It was like, what was it even called back then? It was called like Splash or
we get the get the drift.
It was the club.
Yeah.
And so my sister, so I was like on the old fucking sidekick flip phone that I had, and I was just like texting people being like, cancel it, it's not fucking happening. My family's arrived.
Yeah.
My sister kept saying like, where are we going? Like, what are we doing? And I'm like, nowhere, we're not doing anything. So all my friends were like, no, like we're still going in this, like whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying for the limo, like cancel them. They're like, no, you have to pay, like we booked off work, whatever. So I was forced to go. So I just turned around to my sister like, listen, Donna, her name is Donna, and I was like, her name is Donna, and I was like, the club that you think we're going to and the club that we're going to are very fucking different. And she just turned around and she was just like, why do you think I'm here? And I was like, oh.
I love
my
that.
mum. I was the youngest of 6. My mum went back to work very quickly.
Yeah.
And Donna was the oldest, and she kind of raised me through the young ages.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was a hippie, reading like squatters' rights at Queen's University down the Holy Lands back in the day. Oh my God. I shagged once in my sister's old Holy Lands house years, like obviously 20 years later. I was like, Palestine Street? Why do I know this? Why do I know that?
Stop
Why do I know this name?
The walls are speaking to you.
And I was like, oh my God. And I remember there was like a chippy, or there was a bar at the end, and the bar was still there. And I was like, oh my God, my sister lived in this fucking street.
Oh my God.
She would have brought me, I remember like going to like Queen's, graduating, and as like a young kid, she was graduating Queen's University.
Oh my gosh.
So like she raised me a little bit. So like she was so excited. Obviously we went out, snogged everybody.
Yeah.
And, on the way home, she's like, right, well, what do we tell Mum? And I was like, don't fucking tell her a thing. If she asks about it, you can tell her on the plane ride home.
Yeah.
Donna was pissed as a fart, went in.
Yeah.
I was working that week anyway, and says it quietly to my mum. And I was like working like early enough, but they were all up early to go out because they were like doing all the touristy stuff. I was working. She rubs my forehead, and I cringed. I was like sleeping-ish. And I was like, don't fucking wake up. This is so cringe. And she was like, oh, I understand. It all makes sense now, son. Don't be worrying. But I never opened my eyes because I am not fucking dealing with this with a hangover.
No.
And then she went home. She told my brothers. Everybody was fine.
And that was it?
And that was it. Yeah.
Love it. Oh.
I moved home from America. My nieces are like 4 or 5, and they're all like, Nanny, who owns the makeup in the bathroom?
Oh.
And my mum was like, that's your Uncle Luke's. And they were all like, what?
Oh, stop it.
So they've all got a very liberal upbringing, which is really, really good. Yeah.
Oh, no, I love that. And then you and your mum, you're super close.
Mum, yes, too close. Like, oh my God.
I think you used to be great in Gogglebox.
Jerry,
I can imagine
there was a time that I was dating somebody.
Right.
And I brought they were like dating like boyfriends.
Boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah. And, they would stay over.
Yes.
And my mum would make us breakfast in the morning, like on whatever day.
Yeah.
And I was maybe just giving it stacks.
Do you mean like in the bedroom?
In the bedroom, giving it stacks. Like I was a really good performance when you're hungover and just whatever the next day.
Like hangover horn.
Yeah, right.
No,
like legs over.
You're just like, you stink of shit, your breath's rotten. You're like,
legs over my shoulder.
Oh, stop
right,
it.
And I'm right. Door opens. No. What is one for your breakfast? And I was like, get the fuck out.
Oh, no.
But when there's like that freeze, that moment, and there's like the eyes. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Close the fucking door.
Oh.
And she was like, closes the door. And like my mum, a wee holy woman. Right?
I know.
She closes the door, and then she proceeds to stand there and went, so do you just want bacon and egg? And I'm like, fucking get down the stairs, would you? That wee fella was traumatized, like.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But it's funny, them moments, it's like, it's kind of like, that freeze where it's like, I'm staring right into your eyes because I can't look anywhere else because I'm like that, like.
Yeah, I don't even want to like observe when it's actually been around me. Oh. Sweat dripping down my face.
It was all grand though. It was all grand.
Oh my God, we went down and had breakfast. Like,
what you have?
Like, well, it was bacon, egg, sausage.
More sausage?
Absolutely. Well done. But Mum, I tell Mum everything. There's nothing, I can be as crude in front of her. Yeah. She's the most holy, unholy person there is.
That's the same as my mum.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And we get on so well. So little things in the works. There's little bits and pieces that are going on. There's a few moving chips that I'm just like, I don't know how this is all going to work.
Right.
And how it fits in. But there's definitely something that I wouldn't be able to do myself.
No.
I would need my mum with me to do it.
Right.
And I feel like I've maybe rode one person's coattails.
Yes.
In the past, if that's
Dana
a wee
from Real
hint,
Housewives.
and maybe I'm going to ride my mum's coattails a wee bit.
Okay.
Right? So I'm never going to make it on my own. I'm never going to be a star by myself. I'll always be just the assistant.
Like I had it too. It's the way. You got to climb the ladder.
There's something, we're chatting about something and hopefully something works.
Yeah.
It's not a podcast.
Right, okay. No, I think it should be classed in a podcast too, though.
Yeah, there was something there maybe, but so hopefully I could leave my 9 to 5 at one point.
Yes.
But I'm a greedy bastard.
No,
I would keep the 9 to 5 and just keep the actual stuff.
Well, I was saying last week I'd love to nearly go back in it. I missed it, like the office culture, you know that, like, well, how was your weekend? I love them.
It's the gossip. Oh, there's stuff that goes on that I hear that I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
And like a 2 out of 10 is like a 9 out of 10.
100%.
Like,
absolutely.
Whenever I used to work in construction, maybe I shouldn't say this.
Construction?
I worked in construction, so like high vest, like walking about.
What were you doing? Payroll?
No, fuck off, you bitch. No, I was working marketing.
Were you out? Oh, marketing.
Yeah, so I was out. Well, everybody knew. Like I was like the only gay.
No, I mean you
village.
weren't like you didn't have a jackhammer, obviously, or did you?
Oh, not doing well. No, I would have. I would have got my hands dirty. Like, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Mm-hmm. Could you hang a wee picture or two?
Yeah,
Could you?
Yeah, and then I loved walking about, like being all biz, like you know, nearly like, shut up, David, like you know, all like that. Like I always had this fantasy, like not anymore, like of have standards now, but like nearly like when someone would ask me like what was my type, it was always I wanted to be like you know walking in like a Centra, getting hot food, right, and then there's this man in a fucking like transit van, like fucking toots the horn and wolf whistles. Girls complain about wolf whistling, which I completely understand. Yeah. But for me, because I'm such a nasty bitch, like if somebody wolf whistled at me, I'd be like, what? Like I'd love that.
Open the back door.
What the fuck, asshole? And then he's like, here, what's in your box? And I'd be like, jambon, why you asking? Like I don't know. And
side of mayo.
Slice it open.
Do me on your papering table.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Gays are so fucked up.
I love the way the Snickers. They call them Snickers. Do we work?
Yes, Snicker trousers. Oh my god.
Do you know what I mean? And a wee high vis, I don't mind that
my
at all.
God,
And I would take an Amazon delivery
and a bit
driver.
of oil in their fingernails.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, right, okay.
No.
Fair enough. Maybe too far. Fair enough. But like that, like a grubby man, I'm making my man, like you know, nearly like, Stevie, take them fucking work shoes off before you come in this kitchen. What are you looking? Yeah. Beans and waffles. Like, do you know what I mean? And I've
just done that floor.
I'm in the kitchen, you know, just slaving it out.
Pair of hot pants and
making my man his dinner.
Would you have big hoop earrings on?
100%.
Absolutely. Fringe real buffed out.
100%. Yeah. Clad of hoop earrings.
Yeah, absolutely. Nails
100%.
just done.
Clad of hoop earrings.
I mean? You've just took the book to the post office. You've just got your family allowance. Yeah, 100%.
He's looking noshed off. I'm like, fuck off. I just want, that's love. That is 100%. What I call love. But back in the day, that's what I wanted. Yeah. Not now, obviously. No. We've grown up and developed self-respect.
Now we want somebody that just
self-awareness.
Has a lot of money.
Yeah.
Goes to bed about 9, but we can still go out with our friends.
That would be also ideal, but
Maybe head up fucking torso.
Torso's dead by now, 100%. Torso's gone. Oh my God, yes, but I did date. I had somebody in...
Like a snicker trouser kind of work
No, somebody
another
just...
older man?
No, like I was not that I was capped. I was, in LA.
Right.
Who, I had a little bit of a celebrity boyfriend. I can't tell you the name of the person.
Can you give, any kind of clue?
I could say liked here in the UK, but very popular in America as well. I don't know if that really helps.
And what's his profession?
Film and television.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll not go further than that, Jerry.
Okay.
But you know the name. I've told you already. You'll not tell the secrets.
This is fucking production. I was playing dumb.
Oh shit! Sorry.
I know who it is, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking tea.
Yeah.
Like, we can't, like, because any clue beyond that
would give it
will
away.
go into.
And listen, some of my friends, so like my friend Connor was at a sandwich shop the other week.
Right.
And I don't know how this guy, but somebody making the sandwich was like, that fella looked at you, do you know he used to date? And I was like, how did that person know?
So it's out there.
It's a good float about a wee bit. And Connor voiced me, some fucking lady said, I went, oh no, that's true. And he was like, why did you not tell me? Like, da da da. But yeah, I mean, that's a great experience. Like, I've met so many people with him. Like, I've accidentally touched Elton John's bum.
Oh.
Like, accidentally.
Right, okay.
No, I didn't date Elton John.
No.
We went to Vegas to
Right.
Elton John's concert, went backstage for Elton John. We got a photo.
you meet him?
Got a photo.
What?
But the way my hand went,
Right.
he basically was like, oh, your hand's on my ass. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, like, right, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
not purposely.
Yeah.
Like lunch and dinner. Well, no, dinner and lunch like made with Courtney Cox's house.
Shut up.
I made such a fool of myself.
From Friends,
From
from Scream.
Friends.
Oh
Courtney
my God.
Cox. Like, right, so she's obviously married or dating. She's married to, what's his name, from Snow Patrol?
Yeah, Johnny.
Sorry,
Guy
my God.
Lightbody?
No, Johnny
McDade, is it?
McDade.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're married.
Oh, my
so
God, right.
Courtney wanted to do a show. I think this was the story, why I was invited, or why... Oh, God, why...
Nearly said it.
Nearly said it. Why that person was... We were invited round for dinner. Shit, I'm sweating.
No, I don't. That gave nothing away.
I'm sweating, no. So why we were round for dinner. But the reason I was invited was because Johnny was there and it was like, oh, Johnny's from Derry. And, the whole thing was like, oh my God, Luke's from Belfast and
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. So they were, we were all invited over for dinner.
So basically, you were a translator.
I was, yeah, right. But so she wanted to do work in the UK and
Yes.
that person could have organised something or whatever, da, da, da. So we're all having dinner, but Johnny's family was here. He was
Right.
also there in LA.
Right.
And obviously big fans of what this person did
Right.
at home. Like such a fan.
Right.
So I was sitting and there was this really good looking guy, right? And like I was still quite young. So I was sitting next to this one of Johnny's sisters. Good looking guy was like sitting over there. My partner would have been there. Courtney Cox would have been there. A chef making dinner. It was all fucking amazing, right? So we're all talking. And I turned to this girl and I was like, right, so like, what about him? Like, because he's fucking hot.
Right.
And she turned around and was like, that's my son. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, he's going into uni for music or blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But that was obviously Johnny's nephew.
Right.
He was a good looking kid, guy, like, just said the word kid. He was a good looking guy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like we all sat around that table and like, somebody played the piano at one point. It was just a very surreal
Right.
moment. And then we went back to, West Hollywood, went home and got into the hot tub with, another friend who happened to be an actress. And I'm just thinking in the back of my head, just like, where am I? Who am I? And what am I doing?
Yeah.
And skip like 6 months later, I'm back living on my mum's sofa. Do you know what I mean? So I'm very humbled in the sense of, so stuff like that doesn't excite me anymore.
Right.
I think when I was in that thing, you would have been like, don't show you're excited. Pretend these people are just normal.
Play it cool, yeah.
But you're screaming. The one thing that I kept looking at just in Courtney Cox was how blue her eyes were. Like, and she would have sat and we were talking about like Project Children, like how I ended up being in America and the exchange program. And Johnny was like, oh, I know what that was. And we were explaining to Courtney all about, the issues of the troubles in the past. And she's all, and I was just like, she's just a normal person, but at the same time living in like a $52 million house.
Yeah, like a celebrity world.
Yeah,
like it's
what
crazy.
I mean? Yeah, and I'll in 6 months' time be claiming universal credit. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, I should not be in that zone. Yeah.
But I do believe, but still, you lived it though. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like as if you've lived like 900 lives, and I don't think anybody listening would even know the half of this.
Yeah, and like there are like some of my friends, we chat sometimes and like afters, and I'll bring up like whatever it might be. Yeah. And some of my friends are just like,
you're lately bringing up Dina from Real Housewives.
We're bringing up stuff, and and they'll be like, you're so full of shit, and I'm like, well, hold on, here's the photo. Yeah. And they're like, if you didn't ever come with evidence,
nobody would believe.
Nobody would ever believe you. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So
that's mental. Yeah. Absolutely mental. And then you still keep in touch with most of these people?
Yes. So Dina's ex-husband just recently went to jail.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, if you want to watch this back, take a shot every time Luke says the word Dina. You're like fucking Malika.
I know. No, not even. I'm not even at Malika's level. Malika's even higher than that. God, I'm even worse. I'm literally a showrunner at this point. But yeah, so talk to her. Like I was like looking for something the other day, and I came across an email, and it was like me giving her instructions for my funeral. So I always felt like when I lived in America that I was going to die young there. So I would tell her, this is what I would like, and please send me home. Mm-hmm. Don't send me to a funeral because in America they don't bring you home to the house.
Okay.
And she was like, I'm not bringing you home. And I'm like, well, just ship me home.
Yeah.
So the odd time I would update her. I was probably half pissed or cut, whatever, and I'd update her with whatever. And I had sent her something the other day, just been like, I was so fucking unhinged. Yeah. And she was like, yeah. And I was at an event recently with Dara, and we were down in Dublin, and it was a really nice event. And it was like they sent a car and a hotel. We stayed in a hotel, and Dara was like laughing, being like, "Oh my god, like how the tides have now turned. Like you're now like going to events yourself. You're not the person, whatever." And we were laughing, and we were in the lift, and I said, "Do you have my coat?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "I asked you to grab my coat." So, and then we FaceTimed Dina, and I was just like, "How many times would I have forgotten an item and you had been fucking raging?" Yeah. And like I just got away with it because I lived with her. It was like I was a son.
Like
And I was like, now I know how you feel. Not in the instance of like I'm a massive celebrity, but you forgot my fucking coach. You cunt. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Stop it. Oh my God. Such a colourful life. Now tell me, we're going to do one hot or not, and then we'll finish with a quote. So look, you had a controversial video, got a bit of I'd say mixed opinions. So our hot or not topic of the week is wearing dry robes in public places. I feel like, have we done this one before?
We
Did you talk
we
about
talked
this?
about this.
I have a strong opinion on it.
We talked about this softly. We didn't go really in.
Yeah, because we were afraid of the heat.
We were afraid of the heat. Luke went full in for it. Made a full blown TikTok. And well, tell us about your experience with that.
Let me start out by saying, I own a dry robe.
Okay.
I do own a dry robe. Right? So, but I use it for the very specific purpose of
the dip.
The dip. And that's it. Right? It's not fashion. I'm not the most fashionable person either. Okay. But you don't wear that to fucking Sainsbury's. I don't want to see somebody at Sprucefield at Marks and Spencer's frozen fucking food section with a dry robe. They're waiting for somebody to say, did you just go for a dip today? Do you know what I mean? They're waiting for somebody to say, were you cold dipping? Were you up there were you saunaing the day and cold dip? Fuck off. Do you know what I mean? What am I supposed to expect? Is your fanny soaking with seawater underneath that? No, but do you know what I mean? Like, are you still wearing your bathing suit? Like, what's under that? Because I'm like trying to think of and listen, there's dry robes. And then so I went to an event quite recently where we were given a dry robe.
Right, okay.
And this was dry robe by dry robe, like the original, like the proper...
Okay. The
279 pound dry robe. These cunts that are walking around, this is a Temu dry robe, right? This is not a dry. This is actually just not. It's a waterproof fleece. You could just buy one of. They're on sale. You could get those at Sports Direct. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
So that's my problem. I made a TikTok just saying, listen, I've just happened to come across this. It's so weird. We're nowhere near water. What is this person doing? Yeah. And the majority of people agreed with me.
Right. Okay.
There are other people who say, listen, I do love a dry robe. I walk my dog in it. Right.
What's our thoughts on that?
No. What the fuck did you do before a dry robe? What did you do before these were invented? You wore a coat. If you can't walk a dog in a little bit of rain, don't. The dog. Let me ask you a question: is the dog wearing wellies? Are we putting wellies on the dog? Or are we worried about the dog's wet feet?
No.
Why we wearing a dry robe then? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's a wee bit of just like ridiculousness. Okay. I see a head, but I see this is terrible. I'm going to describe like a walker, don't come for me. I see a dry robe that's not needed with like a very large headband that goes round, high pony, right? Fuck. Walking down with like a dog and like that.
And we know what type of dog it is.
Oh,
it's
100%.
either a Cocker Spaniel or...
Yeah, or like a Shih Tzu. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Or Bichon Frise. Yeah, right. And we're walking... Or no, not even a French fucking bulldog. Let's really say it out there. Let's just put it out there.
Don't come for them.
Right? No, I love them. But that woman, this woman, this person, totally has it. And you're just like, that's somebody who's wearing gym gear. Yeah. That's not going to the gym.
What's your thoughts on that?
I wear gym gear too. Listen, I haven't been to the gym in 2 years. Right. So, for ease and for comfort. But there are some people that are fully dressed. They've just done a fucking Barry's class. Okay. Right. They're just out of Pilates. Literally. And you're looking at them going, and it's not that they don't look great. They look fit and everything, but I'm just like, you just came out of I know you come out of fucking Smith's Toys or do you know what I mean? Where you're just like, where were you today? Why are you wearing that? I think there's like I'm not a fashion icon, right? Okay. I just think there's like an easy rut that people get. My thing is, you wake up, you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
If we're getting into this lazy trend of just, I'm going to take my kids to school and I don't have kids, so maybe waking up early, you are just going to throw on your house coat or whatever you want to call it. But you need to put on a bit of makeup, put a bit of chapstick on. I don't want to smell your morning breath when we're dropping off kids. Like, there's a school run there. Do you know what I mean? A wee bit of bronze boost wouldn't go far.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of foundation.
I do get. I see both sides. I think I'm very neutral in the middle, but I likely do agree with you. But I'd say,
cut to somebody taking a photo at some point of at my lowest hangover stage, me running in with something.
No, I know.
I get it.
We've all been there. But it's like, but I know for me anyway, if I make an effort, I feel better about myself.
So good. Like, do you know what I mean?
100%.
You're like, you got a little pop in your step, a little spring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to go in at 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday to the Centra and see a local person in, like, do you know what I mean? With their slippers on, and it's probably going to be like a leopard print something.
Yeah.
And you're like, if you look like that in public, what do you look like at home? Like, what are you doing at home?
So my thing is anything before 12. I'm all for it before 12. If you want to wear the robe, go in, go wherever the fuck you want before 12.
Yeah.
I mean, like a dressing robe in Centra. The dry robe in places like as in
it's unforgivable.
But if you have went and done your dip and then you
100%, and you're stopping off at a coffee or something. Absolutely.
Within
if I get it,
reason.
Yeah, if you're
and within the radius of water.
Right?
But if I see anybody in West Belfast Sainsbury's wearing a dry robe, I mean? I'm like, we're nowhere near a body of water.
They're walking these dogs in the rain. It looks like they're going to fucking war. Do you know what I mean? Like, putting on a dry robe, tackle the elements. Like, just don't go out then.
It's a full-blown cult, like.
You know, it is. It is a cult.
It's cult, like.
100%.
And I think a lot of us have issues with anything that's kind of like cult-like, where people are extremely like, I'm joining that trend. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's now loving matcha. And it's like, guys, it tastes like shit. Let's be real.
Oh my God, I had matcha years ago. Absolutely
like, it's rotten.
fucking disgusting.
It's rotten. I can't get onto it.
Yeah.
Now, low-key also kind of want to join the club.
To what? Just take a picture with it?
I want to be a matcha girly, but then also I feel like I'm being brainwashed. I'm being dragged into the woods by the Pilates girls. Do you know what I mean?
What's the gym? What's the CrossFit?
High Rocks.
Oh, that's all. It's a cult in itself.
It is.
They all hang out with each other.
But I also wish I was
Kinda
in
jealous.
the cult. Yes.
I want to do the swingy thing.
I want to be like, like the high five after when they're all sweaty. Like, well done.
My friend goes.
Team player.
Yeah, my friend goes, and they say people will come up to you and like fist pump and say you did really good there. And
I know. It seems
they're like, I can't even pull up over the bar. Like, no, but you've tried.
Yeah.
So it is
it's
this
really
cultural thing. I just couldn't go. I don't have the self confidence.
Do you think we're maybe just better bitches?
100%. And you know what it is, right? I'd be like, oh my God, I'm scundered, because I'm only scundered because I know if I would bitch about that, if I'm bitching about that, someone's definitely bitching about me. That's why I'm so self-conscious.
Yeah, like, do you think they say, look at these twats put themselves out there on the internet?
100%. Who the fuck's listening?
Who the fuck is?
Why do we care?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
But look, thank you so much. We like to finish an episode with a quote.
Shit, right.
So anything that you can think of. It can be...
I don't have a quote, but I would have like a tagline.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So like a Housewife tagline, Dina. No, a Housewife tagline. Okay. Right? So my tagline.
Dina's?
No, it's not indeed. No, it's one of my favorite housewives. Okay.
Dina.
No, it's not. No. I'll have to see if I can get this right now. Don't kill me for it.
Okay.
But I always say, people say I'm over the top, but I really just prefer being a bottom these days. Sonia Morgan, love you.
Love it. What if you had to make your own tagline for Real Housewives, what would it be?
Oh my God, there's so many like little things. I don't know what an actual tagline. I would have to sit down. Anyone asks you, that's like someone like you get a weird following. There is a weird housewife clique that would follow me.
Really?
Really like deep dive like,
oh my God,
fanatic fucking
Bravo
diehards. And they would ask you that all the time. I honestly
don't know.
But no, I'm not as exciting, I don't think.
Really?
No.
I think mine should be like,
give it to me. What is it?
Camera. I may be 31, but I'm still young, dumb, and full of cum.
She's leaking. Cindy,
the TV's leaking.
I love that. Do you know what I've always wanted to do?
I'm actually not, by the way, before you all start coming from me.
I've said, and a lot of my friends we've talked about this for years, and it's happened now, but everyone said, no, that'll never work. Do you know the Gays of WeHo Gays, that TV show?
Oh my God, yes.
I said that years ago. I wanted a gay group from Belfast gays, professional. You've got that muddy, murky, fucking everyone has been with everybody scenario because it's such a small community. But we're still professional. So take like Housewives, make it gay, throw in a little bit of Geordie Shore. Right. I think we'd be great for that.
I think it would be. But
would you trail the hair off somebody?
No.
No,
I'm not messy. No. I think I'd be bored. I'm giving it all stacks there with my Real Housewives tagline. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a pure like prick tease. I'm not talking no action.
No, I think you would slate somebody in a confessional. You'd be all
I'd be good at the confessionals. I'd be good at them, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like pretty much I'll let Gemma know that she's a fat cunt. Gay science is so weird. It's like we finish each other's sentences. It's just the biology of the game, man. So fascinating. There needs to be like, I don't know, some Harvard studies on it. But look, thank you so much. Where can everybody find you? What's going on? What's the tea?
Instagram, Luke Mc Kibben. You can find me on TikTok, Look Who's Posting, and maybe on the other app sometimes.
OnlyFans?
I'm only joking. Oh, right. My God, absolutely not. I'm saving for a house though.
Yes. So yeah, you can find Luke. His content is so funny. If you have not seen it, I would be surprised if you didn't though. But you can check him out on his socials. You'll find his socials underneath in the description section. And anything coming up or anything?
No, just a wee bit. No, nothing I can say, unfortunately. That's so shitty. But
there's
something. There's something that's just not. You wouldn't even be worth talking about because if it didn't happen, they're like, oh, that's.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But keep an eye. Like, look. You can find Luke on Luke's socials. There's a lot of Luke. Look here. But so that's how you can keep up to date with everything going on there. Look, thank you so much for being on.
You.
Thanks again to Voodoo's for sponsoring this month's episodes. And yes, we will be back again next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That is how you can keep up to date with any upcoming episodes, whether it is Spotify or YouTube or whatever platform you choose to watch or listen with us here. And we will be back again next week. Look, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sean, thank you so much. Cheers. And yes, we'll see you guys next week.